We'll come back to the super chats. Let's go to Ratchet and Clank coming out in June. That
Finally.
that is a pretty serious launch window for Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. But it is coming out, I believe it was June 11th. And they showed off a digital deluxe edition of it, all of this. I will say I was a little surprised that it fell this far into 2021 after seeing so much of it ahead of the PS5's launch. I thought it was going to be out like maybe a month or two after the PS5 was. I thought this would have been the first release for 2021. That before we heard about Returnal and all of this. Like, if it wasn't gonna be a launch title, I would have thought that this would have been the next one up. Like, months later. 7 months, 8 months after the PS5 launches, though. I don't know. It seems late.
I think they'll never come out and say, because they have no reason to. It was never dated. But they had come out and said launch window. Launch window is typically the first 3 to 5 months. This is well beyond that. This game had an internal delay.
I was thinking that too. Like I said, the amount of gameplay they showed us, where they basically sat down and played the game for a little bit, made me believe that it was going to be ready. I think a lot of people believe that, but they must have run into something in the background, or they've seen some more time to polish it up or something. I mean, Returnal ran into the same thing. It's just they put a date on it, so they had to come out and say that they delayed it. So it does kind of feel like just internally at Sony, something was coming up for these games and they had to push them a little bit. But I mean,
my fear is this is going to be a trend through 2021 for all companies. We're going to continue to see these delays, and it is going to be. Now we're seeing the ripple effects. The stone was thrown in 2020 with COVID, and the ripples are now forming, and we're seeing how vast these delays are impacting games.
It'd be funny as if the one game that doesn't get delayed is God of War. Like, everyone thinks God of War is getting delayed, and that's like the one game that comes out on time in 2021 for the holiday. That would be funny.
I'm sure Sony's sitting there saying, we hope that's the case.
Yeah,
we need that game out.
It was a pretty good looking PNG. I'm ready for it. The game I think that could get delayed, by the way, outside of all of this, that we still don't know a date for, is I think it's still Gran Turismo. Like, I think that game could fall next year.
Because that's the thing they had the date on in the B-roll trailer from CES, and they said first half 2021. Well, you've dated 2 games for the first half of 2021 with Returnal and Ratchet and Clank. That says to me Gran Turismo 7 now at the earliest is July.
I don't think God of War is coming out this year either, though.
Yeah, because you might be right. So, because would you put a game? All right, so Ratchet and Clank is June 11th. Would you put a game then in July the following month immediately if it's a bigger game, or would you give it like a month cool off period? So next game would show up in August. Because you feel like there's gonna be a third party game or two in July that come out.
I feel like if I'm at this point, if I can have the game ready, get it out, let's build that momentum, because since launch, the only game we've had is Destruction All-Stars. Oh. Remember that game?
And the
next game is MLB The Show. I know people, it's sports games, so then we have Returnal.
Oh, okay.
And then, so right now we're looking at a pace of every other month. So if you can have Gran Turismo 7 ready for, let's say, late July, so we can say it's 6 weeks, essentially 2 months. If you can have it ready, get it out. You still have to put out Horizon Forbidden West, God of War. If you're delivering these games this year, at some point you're going to have them released within a 5-week window. So
Final Fantasy 16 will come out this year, right?
Shit. I think you're getting Returnal, you're getting Ratchet, you're getting Horizon, maybe Gran Turismo this year.
Okay.
I don't think God of War. I kind of think Final Fantasy. I think you're right about God of War though. That probably come out like next year or something at some point, like holiday.
Okay,
it could be an April game, but
420 again.
God of War is interesting because it could go another way, because we're kind of treating this as a PS5 game that may have a PS4 version. Mm-hmm. But what if they started developing God of War 5 6 months after the next God of War, after the previous God of War game on the PS4, and they've just slowly started porting it over to the PS5 now? Do you still think the game could be ready by this year? Because if you think of it that way, that the game's pretty much been in development, 6 months after the last game had finished, then that's enough time to bring out a new game, right? Yeah. So we're kind of treating this as a PS5 game, which may have a PS4 kind of version. But what if it's a PS4 game that is now slowly becoming a PS5 game? You know what I mean?
Okay with that.
I could see it coming out if that's the angle, the play that they've done, and I think it probably is. But it'll be interesting to see, if that one does. I mean, I'm 50-50 on God of War if it does drop this year.
Honestly. I realized I was muted. Yeah, God of War next year. I'm feeling it. I think April's a good solid time for that. I think Horizon's August. I have no idea about Gran Turismo, but they do need some games this year. So.
I kind of think Final Fantasy 16 might fall into early 2022.
But here's the thing: do they really obviously, we want there to be games this year, but even from a business aspect, what is Xbox doing this year?
Halo.
Xbox had a
flight simulator. Halo.
They have no first party games, dude. They have nothing.
I think
they had the Medium.
But how is this acceptable though? For real though, they legit got dead ass damn near nothing.
I think Microsoft might have a few things, but I think they might start talking as they get close to that Bethesda deal being done. And I kind of feel like Starfield's going to get shut.
That's Microsoft's safety. Basically, is that they're going to finalize the deal with Bethesda, and if they come out that same day and say Starfield's exclusive November Game Pass, it's kind of, our first half of the year was abysmal, but you knew we had no games. When we showed the system, we basically said we don't have a game until Flight Simulator comes out this summer, and that's bad. It's really bad that your first year on market is Flight Simulator and Halo Infinite. That's a horrendous year for party output.
I don't even think Halo Infinite's a guarantee.
I think we're strongly just getting the multiplayer for that this year. That's it. No campaign this year.
Look, I bought it for just to show, because I wanted to get it for backwards compatibility. So I mean, I'm just saying, this is one of the worst. If that's all they got is Halo and Flight Simulator, this is one of the worst launches that I've ever seen.
I just wanted a monolith. I just wanted a monolith to put under my TV.
Not only did it not launch with the launch game that I thought it was going to launch with, but they reminded me that it didn't launch with the launch title by putting the launch title on the back of the box.
They did.
This is terrible.
That was a harken back to the old days where we would buy the GameCube. We'd look at the back of the box and be like, "Whoa, it has Donkey Kong Racing," and then you realize that game never came out. I remember buying the original Xbox and being like, "Oh, this Halo game is awesome," because it came out with it and it was great.
Yeah. It was awesome.
And then I popped in Project Gotham Racing. I was like, wow, this Project Gotham Racing game looks real. And then I dropped in NFL Live because, that was before Matt ate everything up. And that was cool too. I don't know. The original Xbox actually had a pretty solid launch, from what I remember. But I get what you're saying. Some of these launches aren't great, but sometimes we get some pretty good stuff.
This is terrible. Sony actually at least had some games. Sony had, there was Demon Souls and there was Spider-Man. I mean, yes, cross-gen, whatever, but at least there was something. But this is
this is bottom tier.
Demon Souls. Yeah, this is one of the worst launches I've ever seen. In launch windows or whatever you want. This is the worst. This might be the worst.
See, Demon Souls is a game I've played it. I played it on the PS3, loved it. Got it on the PS5. I love what Blue Point did with it visually. And it's, as much as I want to say that is the game you should be buying a PS5 for. If you played it on the PS3, there's really no reason for you to rush out and try to get a PS5 just to play Demon Souls. It's still the same PS3 gameplay. It's just prettier.
60 frames though, baby.
Yeah, but is that enough to sit there and be I need to have a PS5 right now to just play this?
It's not enough for me. I already got the platinum on the PS3, so I played it back in the day, so I was good. But but for other people,
they'll get Spider-Man for it, and that'll be enough for them when they first buy it, even though it's on the PS4. But
Ratchet and Clank feels like that's the first game for the PS5 to really say, now I'm starting this generation.
I would agree. Yes, I would think. I think that's the first one I look at, and I'm like, because it's built almost to show off the PS5.
Yeah, that's the first game that I'll buy for 70 on there. I'm not buying the games but that game I'll buy for 70.
You know, Returnal for 70.
Okay, so a lot of people, I'm telling you, a lot of people now, I'm seeing it, are just looking past Returnal now because of Ratchet and Clank. They see it. They see the next gen title in front of them. They're like, what's Returnal again? They just past it.
I'll still go for Returnal unless right before it comes out, they don't let reviews in that day. Everyone's like, this is the worst game ever. then I'll probably still go for it.
For 70 for that? No, I'm good, bro.
I'll pick it up for 7. I'm about to spend 70 on Persona 5 Striker just to
wait till it's on sale.
Actually,
I like the aliens, so I want to play it.
Yeah, I'll get Returnal there to check it out, just to see what it's all about.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. These people have no idea. We'll talk about it.
I might buy it.
No, you won't.
I need. That's the thing.
Sean's trying to turn his PS5 on right now.
Yeah, like I played Miles Morales. I loved it. I played Demon Souls. I was like, this game isn't for me. And all the third-party shit I bought on my Xbox Series X.
He wouldn't even turn on his PS5, and Sony was trying to give him Destruction All Stars.
Fuck that! No way. Taking up my precious hard drive with that nonsense.
Oh gosh, yeah. So Ratchet and Clank, I think a lot of people are like on board with what they've seen so far. I think most people are gonna grab that at 70. I'm excited for it. So, but
yeah, when does that Kena game come out, or Kena? I don't know how to pronounce it.
That is out in March.
That actually looks good.
Is that a 70?
No, that's not 70 from what I remember.
Well, we keep saying it looks good.
No.
We keep saying it looks good, but we've had this conversation about the issues of their release dates, and I feel like every single time we've talked about it, we have just overlooked it completely for some reason.
Yeah, it hasn't been. Sony hasn't advertised, and they really need to.
We've seen one trailer for it. I think unless you follow the social media channels, you're not going to see it very often.
Is it even a physical game?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think it's digital only.
Sony needs to advertise this game because the game looks good from what they've shown, but you barely ever see it around. Like that should be on PlayStation Store right now because that's the next game that they should be pushing.
They should be hyping it up for sure.
It's on.
It's not even a price.
It's on the PS4 also.
You can't even pre-order it. It's supposed to come out next month. That's spooky.
Is it actually going to come out?
That's spooky.
They already delayed it. They delayed it once.
Yeah.
The only thing I can find about a price is from September 9th. Kena Bridge of Spirits doesn't have a price yet, but will not cost $60.
It'll cost 70.
I mean, that's weird. It's supposed to come out next month, and you can't pre-order the shit.
When's Far Cry 6, or did that get delayed?
That got all Ubisoft stuff got delayed.
Yeah.
This year's? Because that was like a while ago thing.
I think Far Cry 6 might be a holiday.
Am I crazy?
Really?
Okay.
Jeez.
Okay.
Crazy.